Online sellers and e-commerce business owners, let me give you a complete checklist for your sales tax compliance going into 2023. There are 9 points, so stay until the end because at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you from our experience and working with so many clients, what are the aggressive states and the states you need to look out for. So let's dive into it. Number 1, check your Nexus footprint. With Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and all the holiday sales. And I'm hoping that going into New Year's, it continues as well. It's very likely that your sales into different states have passed the economic nexus threshold, which requires you to register and start collecting tax and remitting to those new states. Make sure you remember that the economic nexus threshold look at prior calendar year as well as current calendar year. So going into 2023, if you look back at your 2022 sales, it would be a very good indicator to tell you where you have nexus and what new states you need to pay attention to. So that's the first step, is review your nexus footprint. And number 2 is you need to review your product taxability. There are lots of states that have updated their tax laws, and a lot of them use effective date of January 1st of 2023 for certain products exemptions. If you're in the business of selling widgets, just normal tangible personal property, it's probably that it's still the same taxability rules in 2023. But if you're in a special industry, if you sell software as a service, if you sell food and supplements, because there are 4 states that's going to exempt food and groceries starting 2023. If you sell clothing, if you're in farming equipment and machineries, all of these will trigger you to start looking at your product taxability and review if all of your products are taxable in the states that you're collecting sales tax. So number 2 is to review your product taxability. Number 3 is to collect all the exemption certificate again. I know this is not the most exciting email to send out, but it's so important to protect you from getting audited by the states and having to pay tax out of pocket. I'm just going to expand on that a little bit because it happens all the time. When we get audited, when my clients get audited, if there's any sale that you did not collect sales tax on, the auditor always asks for a valid exemption certificate. And if you do not have that on hand, then you have to pay tax out of pocket, because as a business, and please remember this, you have to collect sales tax in where you have nexus, or instead of that, you have to collect an exemption certificate. If your customer say that they are buying to resell, or if they're an exempt entity or any other exemption that would apply to them, which you can check out this video right here that I explained all type of exemptions, they have to provide you with a valid documentation. If they don't, feel free to charge them tax. So beginning of the year, we always tell our clients to send out a massive email, contact all the people that they've given the tax exempt treatments to, and ask them to give you their most updated and valid resale certificate or any other type of exemption certificate. So you are not liable if the state ever audits you. So that is the third one, is to collect all the resale certificates and exemption certificates that apply to your business. The fourth one, which ties in with the previous one, is another area of heavily audited when it comes to sales tax, is use tax. For e-commerce business owners and online sellers specifically, if you're giving out product giveaways, if you're doing promotional giveaways, samples, if you are making a donation, all of these that are not product used for sale, but for use, you need to report use tax on your home state's return. Usually use tax is recorded on the same return as your sales tax, and it's only to your home state. You will source across the country all of your sales that are promotional giveaways, sample giveaways, and donations on your home return, and you're going to assess yourself use tax on the cost of those products, not on the sale price. So again, that's the fourth point of getting ready going into 2023. One of the things that should be on your checklist is ask yourself, have I remitted use tax yet? Have I used any products for internal use instead of selling to the customer? Because this is one of the most heavily audited areas when it comes to sales and use tax audit for sure. Okay, so that's fourth. Fifth, I want to remind all of you going into 2023 is Colorado's retail delivery fee. So we talked about this before, and here's a video that will link that you can go and learn more about it in detail. But we've been fighting this return for our clients for a few months now. It is an easy return, but the state is enforcing it. So keep track of how many sales you sell into Colorado, and you owe this additional 27 cents on each transaction for tangible personal property delivered into Colorado on a motor vehicle. If it's delivered on a bike, if it's delivered by reindeer, if it's delivered through air, then it's not taxable and you do not need to remit this 27 cents. But if it's by a common carrier, there hasn't really been any specific exclusions. So the most conservative way is to charge that 27 cents on each of your orders going into a customer in Colorado. So number 5 is Colorado delivery fee. And then number 6, I want to talk about selling internationally. In 2022, a good amount of our clients have asked us to help them to register in Canada and Europe because they're expanding their sales. They are going into new markets, and Canada and the UK and the EU have very specific rules for remote sellers, what they need to register, when they need to register, what is the threshold. So feel free to contact us if you need help registering in these new areas or you just need some guidance. Feel free to get on a consulting call with me, and I'm more than happy to talk to you about what your Nexus footprint is internationally and how you can stay compliant for those. Number 7 is I really want to talk about your sales tax renewals. A good amount of the states require you to renew your sales tax every single year, and some states ask you to pay a fee. Some states it's free to do so. The couple states that came into mind is, first of all, Arizona. It's an yearly renewal and they're very strict and they will make you pay a fee. However, Alabama is also yearly renewal, but you do not have to pay a fee. So there's also a list of other states, which we will have it at the end of this video, that will have a checklist, like a printable PDF that you can actually download, and we'll list all the states on there as well. So don't worry, we'll give you the list of all the states that you need to renew on a yearly basis. Number 8, we're almost there. We're almost to the part where I'm going to tell you all the difficult and aggressive states. So stay tuned until the end. But before that, let me just remind everybody for this point that some states are migrating their portals to new portals. Maine, Maryland, and Pennsylvania are moving their existing portals to new portals, and you might already receive mail telling you how to do that migration, because a lot of these states will give you like 60 to 90 days still on the old system. But going into Q2 of 2023, the old system will not be available anymore. So I recommend all of you to go and download all the transactions from your existing system before you migrating to the new system. And then for sure, going into 2023, do all your filings and reporting on the new system. Okay, you've stayed until the end. Thank you so much. I want to tell you a new list, not really new, but more like just updated list from our perspective of all the aggressive states that we call, that we tell our client, if you're hesitating, if you're thinking, okay, I don't know if I should register in this state or not, even though I have Nexus, because sometimes it doesn't make practical sense. These states, we usually tell them, yes, register even if your exposure is low, because they are very aggressive. They're sending out letters. They are doing all kinds of audits that it's just a headache. It's better to just register and file tax in these states. Here they are: California, Texas, Wisconsin, Maine, Massachusetts, Florida, and the last one is Illinois. Please keep these states in your mind when you're making decisions on where to register, and let us know if you have any other questions. So just to recap, if you want this complete checklist of sales tax compliance going into 2023, please follow the link below to download our guide, and you can keep that. You can pass that internally, pass it to another e-commerce friend so they can have the knowledge as well. As always, feel free to leave comments here. I am here personally answering those questions, and I love helping everybody out there doing amazing things. I wish you a happy holidays and Merry Christmas and just a great year ahead in 2023. And LedgerGurus are always going to be here for you. Bye.